It's all right. All right, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. See, like we are going to divide IELTS in 4 segments as it is actually. I'll try to keep it easy for you. If I'm fast, you may wave. I'll be just keeping my pace down. So let's talk about IELTS first. International English Language Testing System, right? The first thing I should tell you that people mostly pronounce is IELTS. It's not IELTS, it's IELTS, because we just do not pronounce it here. So that sounds IELTS. Now we have the body to govern it, that's Cambridge and IDP Australia. They both run it, they both take the exams. For me, if you ask me, I would ask you to go to the IDP Australia, means AEO. I would recommend you for exams if you want to. I would just start with things that how it goes. That divides in 4 different segments, 4 different skills to be tested. Now just keep this thing in the mind that this is not just English. It's a proper language test. You need to be tested for your first thing, that is listening, and then the same day, same time, after finishing the listening, you'll go to the reading, then writing. These 3 things will be in one day, one sitting. The last thing comes, that's speaking. I said it last, it's not the last. It may be earlier than your all 4 tests, somewhere here. It may be in mid of your test, somewhere here. Means that the day you finish these things, same day in the evening you would be doing this thing. Or it can be after all these 3, you would be informed in advance. So these 4 skills to be tested, they are totally separate skills to be tested. You need to score 9 band here, 9 band here, 9 band here, and 9 here. Out of 9 you score whatever you score. Whatever you score, right? The mostly requirement is the average requirement for your graduation or masters, that is 6 out of 9. That's the normal requirement. When you go to Australia, when you go to some other countries, they are better in education. They might ask you even go for 6.5 overall, not less than 6 in any other skill, but mostly we have that 6 for masters. For graduation, that can be 5.5 somewhere, and that can be even 5 somewhere, but not less than this. There is no pass or fail system in IELTS. We just score something. If you score the required, you are passed simply. If you do not, you have to reappear. You may reappear as many times as you want because you have to pay. So be very careful before appearing. One appearance may cost you 40,000 rupees in order to fees and your tuition fees as well. So be very careful with that. Now let's come to the listening. This is the part people mostly score. Why? Reason. We'll discuss that. This is the part people mostly lose. Mostly. This is the part average we score. This is the part where we mostly score. Now, the problem is this. If you just know the language, these 2 are interlinked with each other. You speak what you listen. You people have been listening Pashto, so you people speak Pashto. I've been listening Urdu, so I've been speaking Urdu. And then my kids, they have been listening English, so they speak English. So we speak what we listen, and these 2 skills are interlinked. Simply, you write what you read, so that when you see the poets or the writers, they have always a library in the home because they read a lot, so they write very well. So these 2 are linked. That means you may manage some score from somewhere. Take for example, you scored in your reading out of 9, very bad day, 5. Okay. The writing you scored somewhere 5.5, speaking you scored 6, listening you scored 7. You have to add, divide by 4. If your score is somewhere 6.25, they mostly round it with 6. Mostly. That happens mostly. Not always, but mostly. If your score in average coming 6.5, they will let it be like this, they would not change it. If you score somewhere 6.75, then it can be 6.5 or it can be 7. That depends on the score of your listening here and reading here. Because in this we have the slates, so whatever you score, you go for that. So this is all about the sequence. Now the first skill to be tested is listening. How it starts? Well, that's quite painful. Should I rub it? Yeah. Allowed? Right, thank you. Okay, now the test starts in the morning. And that's quite tough day for everyone. You would find people always panic over there, you know, stress on the face and looking everywhere for some help, and they talk very slow. So you can feel it, the fear is there, because you know, so many things are on stake of the eyes. I mean, like, you just plan so many things. I would go Ukraine, I would go Australia, I would go England, I would learn something, I would earn something, my family is depending on that. And once you don't score here, the problem comes that your all dreams, I mean, like, you want to reach here, you are somewhere here staying for the exams, and when you don't score here, this destination always be shaky. What to do? How to get? Will you be here for 2 months and you will do it? Well, for me, yes, you can do it, but there is a lot of things you need to be knowing that you have to do yourself, otherwise nothing gonna happen. If you're somebody thinking that in 2 months you would come here with an average score of 4 and I would be pushing you to 8, from 4 to 8 in 2 months, no, I should not be lying. No, it won't happen. It won't happen. See, what I could do, I can minimize your mistakes. The normal mistakes we do, I can minimize your mistakes, because I've been having IELTS, I've been teaching IELTS, I have had on it, I have been bringing up on it, I have fed my family by it, so I know what to do, what not to do. Second thing, you in this area, 4 to 8, or make it 5 to 7, that looks a little realistic actually. If you come with 5, you want to score 7, it is slightly realistic. Coming with 4, want to score 8, that no sir, if I dream for the moon, I can get that. No, targets should be realistic, right? From 5 to 7 travel, yes, it is possible, but this part, 5 to 7, you need to put a lot of effort from your own side as well. If you don't, well, it won't happen. Only telling you, and if you don't do the practice, it won't happen. Let's talk about the listening. What we are supposed to do. What we can do so that we can just make our listenings better. See, the first thing, from today onward, today is, I think, 21st of Jan, right? What you have got to be doing it, from today onward, you have to be watching lots of movies. You have to be watching lots of news, especially I'm talking about that Britain accent, talking about the Fox, talking about some other BBC. You have to be watching all the time. You need to avoid watching Urdu drama or movies or something. I know you're not getting in first, second day, third day, fourth day, but then you will start loving it and you would learn it. Listening a lot will help you catching the pronunciation they do. See, for us, I want to go is a very good English. I want to go. This is very good English. The way they speak the same thing. They do not do anything, right? But the way they speak, we do not catch it. The problem is this, that we do not catch it. They speak the same thing, but we do not catch it. It's just something like that. Yeah, that is. This is the sound they do. Anga. This anga drops everything. What they do, see, they just pick this one, the first one. They come to somewhere here, okay, and then they just move it somewhere here. Otherwise, this and all this, they just omit. That is the problem, we don't pick it. So when you watch lots of movies, when you listen lots of news, what it happens, that you start getting slightly familiar with the sound. And then when we practice here, what to do, how to do, then we will get it better. Now let's come for the listening. Because we have less time, so we have got to be finishing it, right? So what happens in listening? I'll go slightly quicker because we have to cover other things as well, if we could manage today. If not, then we will just leave it for the next day. Now for the listening, it happens like this, that you will have altogether 40 questions to be answered, and you need to, there is a slab right, that you need to be scoring, if you score something 23 to 26, you would be scoring band 5. It is 27 to 32, that is band 6. It is 33 to 37, it says band 7. 38 and 39 makes it band 8. And here comes 40 out of 40 makes it band 9. Now, this is not impossible. People do score here 40 out of 40. But then, once again, I say that they are mostly from Karachi Grammar, mostly from Beacon House, mostly from city, and they are those who have their environment in the home as well for the English. So that they do score. Sometimes their luck also favors. So that makes it band 9. I do recommend you need to focus more on your listening so that you can score more better here, and this can cover or balance your reading or writing if you score less over there. So this is the slab we have, 40 questions. Now 4 different listenings we have in IELTS listening, 4 different. First one, we mostly have a telephone call, asking, giving information. That's the easy part. Section 1 we have that has 10 questions divided by 2 mostly. So it can be 1 to 5 and then 6 to 10 or anything like this. It can be something like that, 1 to 4 and then 5 to 10. It can be 1 to 6 or then 7 to 10. It can be anything like this in 2 different segments. They allow you time to read the questions. They allow you time to read the instructions as well, and then the tape plays. Tape plays from here to here. You have to be listening and you have to be answering same time. Your handwriting doesn't matter. Your short form doesn't matter, because they do give you extra time at the end of all 40 questions to transfer your answer from the booklet to the answer sheet. So you do have time for that. Don't worry about that. So you need to be listening and answering same time. This part is very easy. You mostly listen for name, number, age, address, something like that. So it's easy to buy. I mean, like, but no matter how speedy I am, but when I say New York, you will get I said New York. When I say I'm 13 years old, you will get I'm 13 years old, right? Because sound also will help you. 13 or 30, it's easy. So this section is easy. Nearly everyone scores here. I mean, out of 10, 9, 8, 7. People mostly score here, right? This part is easy and you have to grab that part. Second section, section 2, same thing, 11 to 15 and then 16 to 20. You will be given time to read this section, questions first, then the tape will play from here to here. You have to answer, then they will stop. It will stop automatically, then they will ask you to read questions 16 to 20. You will read, you will answer. This continues till section 3. Section 3, it will go same like 21 to 24 and then 25 to 30. Section 4 is tricky part. In section 4 you mostly listen sort of academic lecture. I'm just skipping this section 3 and section 2, what sort of talk you will listen. We have less time here. In section 4 you mostly listen some sort of academic lecture, and why that is difficult, there are 2 ways. Imagine right now me, you are listening academic lecture. I'm speaking too much, right? Same way here the teacher would be speaking too much. Means that you need to be having lots of words and you need to find your answer from there. In this part, what's your name? Where do you live? What's your age? What's your phone number? It's very easy. It's just very easy. But this part, oh my God, you would be listening at least 200 words for one answer. 200 words for one answer, and that makes it very difficult for you. The first thing. And second thing, academic lecture. Maybe you are not from geography and they have a lecture of geography. Then maybe you have never read anything medicine, but they are discussing medicine altogether. That's another way that is difficult. Another point is difficult. It's not divided. Like you said, 1 to 6, 7 to 10, 11, 15, 16, 20. You have time to read the question, to understand the question what is asked. This part goes like this altogether. So these 3 things makes it even difficult. Once you complete all the questions, one more point I should discuss right now. That's an important one. The problem is our confidence as well. Here what happens, take for example, I'm just leaving this one section because that's easy. I'm talking about this one. See, 11 to 15, you attempt 11, you attempt 12. When you are waiting for the answer number 13, what happens that you missed it? Now when you miss it, your subconscious tells you have missed it. So what you do, you go to 14, but you are divided that I am on 14, will I get the 13 answer? And when you are doing this and looking at this as well, then the speaker, he just crossed this one, he comes to 15. When you realize he is on 15, you come here and you keep looking this one and then you miss this one as well. So what actually happens, your confidence, you're not knowing what to do when, that definitely makes you panic, and once you are panic, you leave it. Once you miss these 3 questions, when you come for this, you say, oh my God, my test is already pathetic. I have lost everything. What would I say to my parents? They paid 25,000, 27,000 rupees for that. What would I say to my teacher and my class fellows? The result is, here you missed 2 more. When you finish just 2 sections, take for example, you missed 1 here only. 1, 3, 4, 2, 6. 6 you have already missed. You were supposed to score 33, means that only 7 chances you had. Out of 7 chances, in your halfway, in 2 sections only, you have already missed 6. This makes you definitely sad and worse. And this feeling continues here. You miss 5 more here. This feeling continues here, and you miss 7 here. So 7, 5, 12, and 6. 18 you have already missed. You scored 22. When the result came, it was 5 or 4.5. This is a normal practice, especially when it comes for KPK. Especially that is, I'm sorry, right? That's a very normal practice, especially when it comes for KPK. Yes, those who have better exposure with English from Karachi, from Lahore, from Pindi, Islamabad. So what actually happens? They miss it, but they cover here somewhere. They miss these 2, but they cover here somewhere. Right? And those who practice a lot, they know this thing. Missing these 2 will not affect your result, because still you have a chance to make 38. Right? So you need to be understanding that out of 40, you have to score at least 33 in order to score overall 6 or 6.5. 33 means 7 you will make here, somewhere you will cover. That means 7 mistakes you can make out of 40. This 7, this number you should keep in the mind. What would you have done if you had to add 40 out of 40 for making it 7? So there is a good news. I mean, there is somehow a good news that you can make mistakes. गलती की गुंजाइश बहुत सारी होती हैं. Now, so this is all about the listening. You'll get it just by the practice. There is no other thing which can help you. Practice and then being with your teacher, asking the question, trying to understand that what went wrong when you were practicing. Once you realize where the problem is, come to me, talk to me, and I would be giving you the solution what to do. You would come to me with the problem that, sir, I'm doing this and my score is this. You need to be telling me that in which types of the question you are making more mistakes, whether they are MCQs, you are making more mistakes, they are short answers, making more mistakes, maps, making more mistakes, they are matching, making more mistakes. You just come with me the problem and I will be giving you the solution. You have to adopt it, it will help you. Take for example, out of the 40 questions, there were 11 MCQs. You scored only 3 correct, means that you are having problem there. You are having problem there. You had short answers, putting 1 word or 2 words or not more than 3 words. Take for example, right? You had 15 questions like this. You scored only 6. Problem is there. You need to be talking to me then. You need to be showing me, sir, this I did this one test, I attempted and I scored this one. So kindly help me out, and you will have the help. We are living in a very, very advanced era. I mean, if I go 2001, 2002, I was in a niece. The earlier I joined. 2002, I joined a niece. WhatsApp was not actually that time. It was very common, or it was not there, I think, that time. So it was tough for everyone to ask questions, to discuss, to share. Right now, you have everything. Click the picture, send me the answer, and I will tell you where the problem is. Nearly all the answers I remember by heart. Nearly all the questions I remember by heart of the Cambridge. So I don't have any problem. You just have to click the picture, send it to me. It might take a little time to give you the answer because sometimes we are busy as well. But anyway, I would come back to you with the answer. That leaves listening back. Now we have the reading.
So which one is easy, like academic or geography?
See, like if you just ask the straight question, I would say definitely general training is very easy. Very easy. But the purpose, GT you cannot use for academic. So it's no use even if that is easy, right? Issue is what? Issue is that people mostly recommend that, okay, we'll do ELA over there, English language aptitude test over there, and we will get the English language course. We will do ELC over there for 6 months and blah, 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 whatever. They don't want to work here. Here, if you do IELTS scoring 5.5, 6, that would cost you 40,000 rupees, make it 50,000 rupees. Okay, in first attempt if you finish it. All together, books and going and coming and paying tuition fees and examination fees. Over there, this 6-month course will cost you at least, I think the minimum one I'm telling you, that's 300,000. But we just look for the visa. Oh, yeah, visa lagna chahiye, bas. That's the only thing I need right now. No. This won't help you. If you do this thing here, if you improve your English here, not only you would save this one money over there, but also you would earn better over there when you go for earning. You would have your ability better when you go to work in a, take like you are on the tel somewhere. In some superstore, and a person who knows nothing, he would be simply a store boy up there somewhere in the store, and you would be on the cash machine. He would be earning around, like if I go for the dollar, $3 per hour, and you would be earning $7 per hour. So $4 plus you are earning just because of this effort here in Pakistan. So you need to put effort here so that when you go to your destination, you would be useful for that community as well. You should not be only, deaf and dumb. Like I am here, sometimes I feel myself deaf and dumb when the people speak Pashto in speed. I get nothing at all. And then I ask my driver, kya keh rahe? Kya keh rahe? Even if I feel I'm a very good communicator, I have been just, like giving my lectures before hundreds people. But when it comes for the language, you don't know the language, you are nothing. You are deaf and dumb. ना आप समझ सकते हैं, ना आप बोल सकते हैं, ना आपकी लफ्ज़ी को कोई एक्सेप्ट कर सकता है. तो that's nothing. So you need to be working. Being a student, you need to be working here. This part working will save your money here. The first thing, this part working will definitely make you a useful person over there, wherever you are going, wherever you're going. I've been to the places, I know, and I've been in HR as well, so I know what is the most important part when you're hiring someone. The first thing is the look. The look. You sell it. Once you open the door, you sell it. You send the picture, you sell it. And then second thing, your communication, how you communicate. If you do not communicate, you are just a piece of meat. Weight, you know better. You are 60 kg or 80 kg, but you are a piece of meat, that I know this thing. So these two things are important. Then it comes for your degree. Then it's third thing. The first thing, when you open the door, you sell your personality. When you say hi, you sell your communication. And then you say, okay, I have done my PhD. And then PhD is the third one, actually. So these two things are very important. So you need to be making your communication better. When it comes to the language here, this will help you a lot. That leads to reading. Should we continue? Alright, okay. That leads you to the reading. Reading, once you finish listening all 40 questions, tape stops and tape tells you that you have now 10 minutes to transfer your answer from the question booklet to the answer sheet which will be given in advance to you. You transfer all these answers to help you a little. Question booklet will not be checked. Your answer sheet will be checked. So take for example, if you did something right in question booklet, but while you are transferring over here, you made mistake in answer sheet, you would be marked wrong. So you need to be careful while you are submitting the answer. One more thing, when you are transferring the answer, you have to be careful that the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm telling you a very good tip. Take for example, 7 you missed. Take for example, in the question booklet, you were transferring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and then 9 eyes. So I'm writing here. Okay, you did right. Here because it was missed, blank, you were transferring number 8 and by mistake this number 8 you kept on number 7, whatever the word was. Take for example. Now what do you think? Everything will be wrong down there. In sequence, everything will be wrong down there after 7 and you would be marked penalized for that. They would not say that, okay, it's just a blank mistake, it's just up and down, or let we do arrow key like this. This arrow key won't work. You need to be careful when you are transferring your answers. Spelling mistake will be counted, punctuation will be counted, proper noun, common noun will be counted, grammar will be counted. The question was, he was dash. You got the word, correct word you got, and you said he was go. Okay, I'll just make it a little better. The word was leading. Right? You got it and you wrote by mistake lead. He was lead. Grammatically that is wrong. That would be, even if that was the correct answer by ing, but that will be counted wrong. Take for example, he said that he led to the school. but the question was he was. You need to change this let to the leading. You need to change it because this requires, because you cannot afford writing. So this leading will be the correct answer, otherwise any other form will be wrong. So you need to be very careful while you are transferring. Once you transfer all the answers, they take the listening question booklet back and then they give you, tell you the instructions. The instructions are being played on the speakers. And there's a big hall actually, more than 50-60 people if you are going for the Cambridge, and more than Cambridge means like BC, I'm saying that, British Council. And if you go to AEO, you will find more than 150 people in one hall. Speakers there, mostly in the 5-star hotels, so you won't complain for anything actually. So speakers are very good. Anyways, so once you finish everything, they give you reading question booklet. They tell you all the instructions and then they let you start. Reading, skill number 2, same thing, 40 questions, 3 sections. You will be reading around 2000 words altogether. You will have different type of questions. That's reading comprehension. You have to comprehend the answer from there. 60 minutes you have for that. Should we stop for a while as Zan is being called? Yes, thank you. Right, so that keeps us moving to the reading side. So we'll start reading right now. What actually happens in reading? Once you finish your listening, once you transfer the answer, they take the reading listening question booklet back and they give you a reading question booklet with the passages you have to read. You keep the answer sheet with you because one side we have listening answer sheet, the other side you have reading answer sheet. In reading, you do not have any time for transferring the answer, so you need to find the answer from the passage, and better idea is to write it directly on the answer sheet, except in MCQs because there you have to circle and you just have to later on write only A, B or C. So no problem, that you can do on the question booklet as well. Now in reading we have 40 questions as I mentioned earlier. You have 3 passages and you need to score here. Well, for me at least there should be a score of 23. That makes it band 6. This should be the target to do it. 23 out of 3. So we have 1 to 13 questions. Passage 1, we have passage 2, 14 to mostly we have that 26, and then we have passage 3, that is 27 to 40. Now the level of difficulty will go higher and higher as you move, same like in listening as well. Listening first section easy and the last one, the toughest one, same here, that will be easier and then easy and then tougher. Make it like that would be tough, tougher, toughest. That's the easy thing, right? So you have 20 minutes for each. They do not give you 20 minutes, but we divide in 20 minutes each part. In any case, in any circumstances, you cannot give more than that. For me, when we practice here, it will be 17, 18 and 19. So we will save around 5-6 minutes here and then we will use it wisely somewhere else. Now the key part is, this is the reading comprehension. It's not reading for pleasure, it's not reading for killing the time, it is reading comprehension. You are reading something for a proper purpose. If you know the purpose, it will be a lot easier for you to find the answer as compared to just reading and getting yourself involved and jumbled up in the passages that mostly people do. You may have things which you never read, you may have things which you do not like and seldomly read. So the problem is this, that if you find something which you have read earlier, it will be a lot easier for you. Take for example, if you are doing BBA and you got something about the marketing or sales, you would find that passage very easy, you would score better. But if something came with the chemistry and you did your BA or BBA, then definitely it will be a Greek for you. The key is to keep this thing in the mind. In 17 minutes you need to attempt these 13 questions. Out of 13, if you do 10, it's still 17 minutes. If you only attempt 5, it's still 17 minutes. If you attempt 11, it's still 17 minutes. In any case, you cannot afford giving extra time, more time than 17 minutes to passage 1. So we do have the wristwatch. You can just start the timer over there as well. Once you see that 17 minutes done, even if you just attempt 4 questions, leave this passage, go to the next one. This is a simple principle. The time is the worst enemy for you in IELTS reading specifically. If you do not follow the time, then simply you would be in a big disaster. Next passage, 14 to 26 questions, same 18 minutes, and then 27 to 40 minutes, we have 90 minutes for that. The time we save from here, we mostly go for the wild guesses when we are done. When we are done with the passages, when around 54 minutes done, you realize that you attempt only 18 questions. You left 12 blank and 10 are shaky answers, right? So 12 you left blank, 10 are shaky answers. This we would let it go as it is. This we would let it go. Now out of 12 you find that there are MCQs as well, there are short answers as well, matching blah blah blah. This is the part we can go for the guesses. Matching we can go for the guesses, paraphrasing we can go for the guesses, heading placement we can go for the guesses. So this 5-6 minutes we save here, we go for the wild guesses here. Out of 12, if your 3 guesses are correct, you are definitely lucky. Definitely out of 12. Sometimes people mostly go for if we have the MCQs and one part 1 to 6, take for example. So what I recommend, go for A. How many we did? 6. Yeah, 6, right? You missed all 6, you have to go for the A. If you attempt 3 and they were B or C or D, again recommendation is for the next 3. This is the way of attempting so that you can make most of this one what you have missed. Nobody, nobody, I'm sorry. Very rarely people score 9 out of 9 in reading. Very rarely. Mostly they score 8, 8.5, not 9 out of 9. As in listening, mostly people may score 9 over there. So you have to go for the guesses as well. Once you finish your reading comprehension, you find the answer, 60 minutes done. They take reading question booklet back and same time reading listening answer sheet or listening reading answer sheet back as well. Your test is done for these 2 skills. You are done with it. There is no problem. Now you are relaxed, 5-6 minutes gap you have, and then they go for the writing. We are discussing writing. See, listening is same for GT academic both. Speaking is nearly same for GT academic both. Reading and writing is entirely different for GT and academic. For migration and for academic purpose, we have entirely different. So you will have different reading if you are attempting academic IELTS, and if I am attempting GT IELTS, I will have different reading. So this you should keep in the mind, right? You are done with your reading, you just give everything back, you sit, relax, and then they give you the writing test. I'm discussing first the task 1. There are 2 tasks in writing. Writing. Now, 2 tasks we have in writing. Task 1, academic, I'm discussing right now. In this part, you have to write a report. You will be given a bar chart, graph, picture, map, data, statistic, and you have to write a report on that. You have to explain what that data is showing. You have to write 150 words at least, and you will be given 20 minutes for that. They do not give you 20 minutes, they give you all together 60 minutes, but we divide in a way that you have to spend 20 minutes on that, right? That's easy part. The same thing goes for task 1 GT, general training IELTS. In this part you will be given same 150 words you have to write, and you will have 20 minutes for that. 150 words you have to write here as well, at least, that I said at least, it should be 160, 170. 20 minutes. And in this part you will be asked to write a letter, a complaint, an appreciation letter, a request, giving information, asking information, so on and so forth. So that's easy part, that's what we do every day in our life. This is comparatively difficult part because you are going for studies, so you would be asked things doing like this. So this is the difference in academic and GT. When it comes for task 2, which is heavier, nearly doubled up in the way of numbers and size as well. So that is again different, but nearly the same when it comes for the writing. For GT people, mostly we have opinion giving, mostly opinion or solution, mostly. For academic, we have argumentative writing, agreement, disagreement, or sometimes you have to go for classifying things, sometimes you have to go for finding the solutions, sometimes you have to go for discussing things. Task 2, academic, 40 minutes and 250 words at least, again nearly 300 are recommended. And then it comes for task 2, GT, same thing, 250 words and we have 40 minutes. Mostly we have in this opinion, in this we have mostly argumentative writing. The problem is this, the topics are given not very common. You would not be given write an essay on your country, write a place you like very much. These all will be very, very difficult. I mean, like, there may be a topic that that the COVID-19 has, that I'm just telling you from your own side, the COVID-19 has changed the world a lot. Now we have mostly our education on online. Do you think this online education will continue even if the COVID is done in coming 6 months? Do you think learning online will be same as it is now, or people will go to physical education only when it will be finished? Now, it's easy thinking that okay, I can write, but to convince someone writing this thing is not that easy. You need to have ideas for that. You need to have solid with evidence ideas for that. Otherwise, they will not be giving you marks for that. Same thing here. They would ask some opinion on something such as education in early age or education in slightly later age, like sending kids in age of 3 age, sending kids in age of 8 years. So what is better? So this part is easy. You have to put your opinion, you can write, because we talk a lot. When we talk a lot means that we are just putting our opinion over there, so that we can print, that we can black and white here. But here you need to have the proper ideas in your mind. We mostly recommend how to write. We will discuss this definitely, how to write a report, how to write a letter, how to write an essay, whether that is argumentative or opinion. We will discuss how many paragraphs needed, what are the bullet points, what are the intro words, what are the pet sentences we can use. Around 40 to 50 pet words we have, which we use whenever we write. So means that if you have to write here 250 and if I give you 60 words altogether, they are pet words. They are always in opening. They are mostly called the bullets. So they are always in opening of any paragraph. That means that you need to be looking for the solid ideas for only 210, 220 words. So that's a little easy. This part is easy. People mostly score. But the key is, only one key I'm telling you. We have the 5 keys here. And we have the 5 requirements as well here on what you are being marked. What I told you, 40 questions in listening, 40 questions in reading. It's easy to mark it. I mean, like 23 you score in reading, it's band 7, no problem. Sorry, band 6, no problem. 33 you score in listening, it's band 7, no problem. So it's easy. How they mark this one? We don't have any question here, only 1 and 2 questions. They have 5 different requirements on what they mark your writing. We will discuss earlier. There is only one key. Right now I'm telling you, is to understand the question. If you understand the question, you will score something. If you write 300 words, something you will score. If you do not understand the question, you misread, you misinterpreted, you'll get nothing. You cannot beat about the bush. This, that. You need to put the proper idea that can address the question or requirement or questions. Sometimes we have 2 questions as well in one question. So this is all about the writing. How to write, easy part, we can do it. All you have to do is just to write and send it to me or give it to me. I will check it. I will tell you the mistakes, whether they are grammatical mistakes, whether they are your idea mistakes, or if I don't like the ideas, if I like the ideas. So this is the easy part. That leads you to speaking, as I discussed earlier. Speaking may be earlier than your listening, reading, writing. Speaking may be same day on your listening, reading, writing, and speaking may be later than. They would let you know when they give you the appointment letter or examination card, examination paper. Now speaking, easy part again, I must say, people mostly speak, score a lot here. Speaking, it goes 11 to 15 minutes. You may finish it in 10 minutes as well, but as less your time is, as worse the score will be. Keep this in the mind. How it happens? 1 to 1. Always locals. No foreigner you will find over there. There used to be foreigners, but they all gone now. So we don't have any foreigner. Speaking one-to-one, you and your examiner, you go inside the room, you knock the door, may I come in? Yes, please come, be comfortable. They make you comfortable, they give you time, you get relaxed, you can take water as well. Then they ask, you okay? Should we start now? You say yes. They just record everything. They put the recorder in front of you and they start talking to you. We have 3 parts here. 3 parts. Part 1 what will be if I get into the room? Simple introduction, right? Simple introduction. What's your name? What you do? Where do you live? Your hometown, your education, your job, your family. These are the things mostly discussed in part 1. Mostly. They are easy. Okay, so what do you like in your city? That's easy. 3-5 sentences, 10 sentences and done. Well, I love my city. So many things are there. I love going out. I love the water. I love the parks. I love that the pace is slow. I love the people around. I mean, you can say whatever you want to, right? So that's easy part. Part 1, introduction sort of thing. And mostly we have here family, job, education, hometown, hobbies. 5 things. Out of 5, 1 or maximum 2 topics will be discussed with around 4 to 8 or maximum 10 questions. They are to the point questions, so you don't have any problem with it. That leads you part 2 becomes same. As you proceed, it will be difficult. In this part, you will be given a topic to speak on. You will be given a topic. This topic can be anything. It can be your school, an old building, a new building, a park, a water sport, your hobby, your family, person you like from your family, and so on, so forth. I'll give you around 30 topics and hope one of these will come in your test. Mostly it happens actually, because they do keep on repeating things. In this part, you'll be given 2 minutes to speak, you'll be given 1 minute to think, you'll be given a card, a cue card on which the topic is written and 2-3 points are written. Take for example, the topic is describe any book you like. Now the point here, who was the author? What do you like the most about that? No. Who was the author? What was the main idea of the book? What did you like most about it? 3 points already given. You will be given 1 minute to think so that you can take more points. Because if you need to speak 2 minutes, you need to have at least 7-8 points on that. Right? Now keep the card before you. They would ask you to speak. Okay, you can start now. They would let you know this thing. So then you say, okay. The book I have read recently was the book Pakistan First, written by Pervez Musharraf. Well, the idea was simply the biography of Musharraf and what he did with the Pakistan, but there are so many other things interest me as well. The best thing I love in that book, and then you just continue, keep on saying whatever you have read, right? So this can be any topic. Once you finish this part, that leads you part 3. Part 3 is simply sort of discussion on the topic is given, not on what you have said. Take for example, the topic was describe a book you have read. So you spoke whatever you spoke, like I spoke on Pakistan First, okay? So I spoke, they would not be discussing what I said. They would be discussing on the book, type of books printed, how the readings are improving or decreasing in your city, okay? What is the difference in book and digital library, and blah, 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 blah. That would be two-way discussion. This takes part 1, that takes 2 to 3 minutes, part 2, 3 to 4 minutes, and then this part that mostly takes 3 to 5 minutes. 6 questions mostly they ask, and these questions are difficult. And these questions are really difficult because in this part the examiner has all the questions written before him, but in this part examiner has a little freedom that he can change, add or omit the question which are already given over there. Because you know, when we discuss, sometimes you ask me one question, I answer that question, but answering that question I may be asking another question which was already in your mind, so that you don't ask that question because that question was answered. So same happens when you discuss, when you are on the question number 1 of part 3. He asked some question, you started answering, and by answering unknowingly you answered question number 2 as well. So he would leave this question and go to question number 3 and add one question from his own side. So this is the part. They do not try to make you confused or panic. They just quite cooperative, but they want to see how much you speak. You need to speak as much as you can. If you just go for to the point the answer, that will not give you marks. You have to speak. I'm not saying you have to be making mistakes lots of mistakes in grammar and saying something else, being asked something else, but you need to speak. As much you speak over there, as better your score would be, even if you are making mistakes. Because communicating is important. I'm not saying you need to make mistakes over there, but communicating is important instead of being quiet over there. Or giving, what's your name? Hashmi. Where do you live? Karachi. Okay, what's your education? Graduation. Then they would give you, then you would finish your test somewhere here. 6 minutes after test khatam ho jayega, and then you would say, thank you very much. We'll see you again for sure. That is the thing. So this is all about the IELTS. When you finish your test, it takes around 10 to 14 days to get your result. The result comes at your home mostly, whatever the address you have been given. You can pick it from the AEO. If you are taking test from AEO, you can pick it from there directly as well. You have to put the request earlier or whatever you want. So this is all about. I would appreciate if you have any questions, no matter that sounds how silly, but do ask, because asking would definitely clear things. Thank you so very much. That's all for today. Yeah.